this session is a little bit different from all the other ones in the sense that all the other ones are sharing a lot of information about what you can do to prevent certain issues, how to implement controls, how to make things safer. This session is assuming all of that has not worked, how will you respond? If you're an organization that's been hacked, if you're an organization that's facing some major continuity issues, how can you then deal with that? And this is not a sitting down listening exercise, well, the first 10 minutes maybe, but then we're going to really get you guys into groups and start practicing how that would feel if it actually was to happen. And all of the people here will play a role in the simulation game. So if you have some more friends who you want to drag in, let them come in, but otherwise we'll get started, okay? So my name is Rinske. I've been involved with PECB for about 4 years, I think. I do mainly business continuity planning and a little bit of security, risk management, supply chain security. That's my main fields. But BCP, business continuity, is my core business. Since 11 years, I run a company called Business as Usual. And we do projects all over the world now. So from East Africa to Lima to Borneo to, well, from Australia, obviously a lot of project in Australia too. And I work with freelancers who do a lot of detailed work for our projects. So that's a little bit about my background. And you can see here a few other details. I'll share these slides with you if you like, so you can see a bit more background on my business and how we approach it. We do a lot of gaming and simulations actually in business continuity field. I see a lot of other consultants doing a lot of writing procedures and documents and piles of information that then people have to try and internalize. And what we see with a lot of organizations, if a disaster happens or an incident, evolves, still nobody knows what to really do. And they're still sitting there surprised. All the staff are sitting, waiting, oh goodness, what's happening now? Who's telling me what to do? And who's gonna, call me? Or do I call someone now? Or where do I go? Now that's not good practice. Writing a big document and then nobody knowing about it is not how it should be. So we focus a lot more on being incident ready as a business, and really 80-20 rule. Writing maybe 80%, but getting far more effort into the practicing and the rehearsals and exercises of it. So that's my philosophy with some of this work. And you can see here some of the organizations that my company has worked with since I started it in 2006. All different industries, different parts of the world, like I said. My background, certifications, I actually haven't even added my 27032. I don't know if you guys all did it, but I'm also the cyber lead manager and a few other things that you can see. I share that with quite a few of you guys. I mean, you'll have some overlapping certifications yourself. So, and you can see that, about 20 years of experience. I know I look like I'm only 20, but I now have 20 plus year experience. It's kind of scary, but so yeah, that's been all over the world. I'm originally Dutch, but I've lived in Australia for 19 years now, and so I've turned into an Aussie, I think. So what about you guys? Can I see a show of hands? Who's in financial services or anything to do major projects in banking, insurance kind of world? Yeah, so you're in that sort of regulated space quite a bit. So that's what we see globally, quite regulated. What about government or emergency services? Anybody involved with that? Yeah, also a good group. Healthcare or care organizations? Only one. Wow. Technology or utility sectors? Yeah, quite a lot, obviously. You're the experts on that. Retail, manufacturing, transport? Quite a few. And media? Wow, 4. That's actually quite good. Consultancy, a lot of you, I'm assuming. And anything else that you want to share that you're in a specific strange industry? Yeah. Aerospace. Wow, that's really unusual, actually. Yeah. And so on the technology side or on the people side? On the technology side. Yeah, fantastic. Thanks. This is going to be a really good session because I can see the spread and the balance of all of you guys. So. All right, so let's get started. So this whole game evolves around a cyber incident. So we're going to use cyber as a trigger for a incident that is going to happen to an organization. Now you can see here quite a lot of examples. I mean, you can see here health systems being affected. A couple of Australian examples are put in, which includes census, like the whole entire census system was hacked. The first time they went electronic with it, it was completely, well, they don't really say who did it and in what form, but they point the finger at the Chinese, I think, or something weird. I don't know, they have to have a scapegoat, you know. But this is what happened in our federal systems, and obviously some of the other real common examples, obviously, the recent really large-scale ransomware attacks as well. So, okay, that's all the examples. Now, let's pretend, all of you guys, please close your eyes and think, okay, the organization I've recently worked for, or where I still work, something's going to happen where there's been a hack. And I'd like you to think about what would be your response, as in how prepared are you really honestly for this kind of situation? If your systems were attacked and by some malware or whatever, and what would be your answer? So 0 points is those in the room who say, look, we would struggle, you know. 1 point is, well, we would probably be running around a little bit like headless chicken, but there's some sort of pieces to the puzzle. We can probably make things work again, you know, by the next couple of hours or something. And then 2 points is, no worries, give us the hack. We want to test our plan because we know we're confident, no problem. We're going to continue business as usual, basically. So turn to the person next to you and share them with them. Are you 0 point, 1 point, or 2, and why? For 2 minutes. Find someone behind you if you don't have someone next to you. Your company is hacked. What is your response? How confident are you? You can share it with me. How confident are you? 0, 1, or 2?
I have only one-man company.
Well, okay, you work with clients, right? Pick one client and think, are they 0, 1, or 2?
I think most of them are 1.
Yeah, a little bit in place. Well, they work with you, so they should all be 2s, no?
Yeah, try to push them
To 2.
number 2.
Yeah. Okay. So who gives themselves 2 points? We're ready, anytime, bring it on. 3. Wow, that's pretty. 4. Your PCB. You have to say it. Someone's paying you to say it. Someone's giving you Belgian chocolate to say that, huh? Okay, now that's not that many though. And we are all the experts. Let's face it. If this conference can't handle it, who can handle it in the world? Seriously. So this is about less than 10% of this room says, no, we're ready for something. We've got plans. We've tested them. You know, we want to actually see it in practice. Who says 1 point? Yeah, I was hoping to get that at least. And who says, well, if I'm really honest, I'm sort of at the 0 point. Yeah, there's a few of you, you know, and you can be honest. We're all friends here, you know. We're a large family of global PCBers. So it's not like everybody's ready every day for this kind of stuff, right? And we've seen, unfortunately, those examples. And here you can see some other risks. You know, the World Economic Forum, they plot what are the biggest risks in the world? What are people concerned about? Now, this is the leaders of the world saying early this year that terrorist attacks and data fraud or theft that are pretty high on the list in terms of likelihood. And then you can see here on a chart, the next chart, you can see how it's all interrelated, like all these different risks that they're plotting out. And all the stuff at the bottom left, you can see terrorist attacks, cyber, critical information infrastructure breakdown, and data fraud or theft. All of those, and technology advances, and they're the consequences thereof. So all of that is actually related to all the stuff we're talking about in this conference. And that's the top sort of critical risks in the world at the moment. So you can see this is actually useful, what we're doing, and it's actually going to help the world be a better place, which is the good news, yes. Okay, a couple of other examples. Privacy Act related sort of initiatives that are happening. I don't know if you guys have that in your countries, but we see in Australia, for example, and in America as well, that there's a lot of focus on this. And you can see here some statistics. I won't go through all of this detail, but you can see here the cost alone of companies having to disclose if they've had a breach. In Australia, I think it's starting in about 6 months, where they have to disclose within 1 year, I think, they have to disclose that they had a breach. And what is the biggest concern with that, you think, for these for companies? What's the biggest headache of this? Reputation, exactly. You know, if you're on that list of the map, you know, of the global map, you've been attacked and you didn't have a good response. I mean, that's a serious problem. So reputation is the big thing. It's not technology. It's not pen testing. It's actually maintaining reputation. And you can do that not just by protecting your business, as in preventing it, but also having a great response, great communication plan, having fantastic ways to actually then have continuity plans in place, etc., etc. So that's what we're going to practice in this game. So we're going to have a whole bunch of different groups in this form. So the structure of the game is actually each of you guys will become part of a team, and there'll be 5 different teams. And first of all, you're going to have some basic information to complete about your team. I will then reveal the scenario of what's actually going to happen to your team or to the whole group. And then we're going to have various challenge cards going between teams. So if Team A has a challenge for Team B is going to have to respond in a written way to that challenge, give it back to Team A, and Team A is going to have to reward that with a number of points to say, look, this is a reasonable response. And eventually, well, there will be a winning team that has the highest number of points within the time that we have left. Now, there's always too many challenge cards, so you can go for it. We won't run through them, I don't think. That's never happened in my life, that all the groups went through all the challenge cards. So we have plenty to keep us going. And at some point, we're just going to say stop, and we're going to say, look, who's got the biggest number of points? And of course, there's no competition without a prize. And there's no competition without bribery, really. So this is the bribery material, which is going to be sitting here. So the team that's going to win, they're going to have one of these, okay? Hopefully that's going to get you guys started. Okay, so if there's a dispute between 2 teams and one team says, no, that's only 1 point you're worth, and Team B says, no, well, that's a really good response, we need 10 points, you know, then you can come to me. I'm going to be the facilitator here and the mediator, so I'll be giving you the final number of points. Okay, and then a little bit of discussion and wrap up at the end of it. Okay, everybody happy with that? All right, so we have 5 teams. I'm going to count. And I know you guys are probably sitting next to your best friend and all that, so we're going to do a little bit of disruption of that. Because this is a conference, you know, you're here to meet some people. You could have looked at all of this stuff on LinkedIn or on a webinar. Now, we're going to actually make sure that you meet some new friends and that the rest of the conference tonight at the gala dinner, but also tomorrow, that you've got some good people to chat to. So I'm going to count sort of around the room so that we have enough of each team. And I'm going to start with you. You're team 1. Okay. Actually, is Pierre here? Or is, who else? Bernard? Oh, I can see Graham is here. Graham is going to lead one of the teams. Anyone else feel like a bit of a team leader in any of these groups? Not yet? Okay, no worries. We're going to get that started soon. Okay, so let's go and count the teams up. So team 1, the lady in purple. Team 2, the gentleman here. Team 3, 4. Please look at me while I go around. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to start there. 1. Graham, team 2. Behind you, team 3. The lady, team 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. The guy with the hat. That rocks a hat really well. And team 4, the gentleman here, the polo shirt. 5. The lady here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. That's Eric. 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Anyone else want to participate? The photographer, maybe? You should be in the media team, you know. All right. So what I'd like to do first is get these groups together. So can we get team 1 over on this corner here? Yeah. So led by this lovely gentleman over here. If you want to stand up there, and so get your group together. You guys are the top healthcare senior management. So you're basically the senior management of a healthcare organization, of a hospital group. That's team 1. Team 2, behind you guys over there, are going to be the IT and security specialists of the hospital. Graham, what were you? You were 2? Yeah, so Graham's going to lead the IT and security specialists. Well, that's lucky. Over there. Team 3, the Patients Association. Now, you guys are a lobby group, right? You're going to fight hard for the rights of the patients. You're going to be at the back of the room, somewhere, with the lady with the white jacket, I think. Are you in that? Yeah. Team 4, the Department of Health and Human Services. Now, you're the regulators. You're the hardcore government people, okay? You guys are going to be in front of the movie person over there. And Team 5, the media. Can I get the media over here, sitting right near me? Who's media? Yeah, you're in the media here, so you guys are over there. Yeah. That's okay. Do what you need to do. Oh, there. Yeah, that's all good. Okay. I'm going to hand each team a envelope. Well, actually, no, I'm going to hand you a instruction. So team 5, we've got here, yeah? Team 3. Yeah. That is the IT and security. Is that correct? So please fill in the first 3 sections of that paper. All right, so that's just basically for you guys to sort of allocate what roles have you got in the team. You know, you don't have to do all the names, etc. You can make that a little bit generic if you like. But the other 2 sections are important. You know, what are your top priorities as a group? What's important to you in the world? You know, in your daily life. And if you can kick off with that, that should take about maybe 7 minutes or so. 7 or 8 minutes. Yeah, just to roughly fill that in. Just the first 3 sections. Cool?
Just for the first part, what they're asking here, to summarize your responsibilities.
Yeah, what do you do as a group? So you guys are the senior management. So what's the top sort of things that you're busy with most of the day? Running
In a healthcare section?
Yeah,
or-
in a healthcare or
because
healthcare.
there's like nobody here that really knows what healthcare
No, but you've
sector
senior
is.
management. What do you do as senior management? You set the strategy for the hospital.
Okay.
Make sure there's enough money going around, stuff like that.
Strategy.
Recommendations, something like that. Yeah.
Summarize your everyday activities.
Hey guys, the first section is just a couple of bullet points, right? To say what's your sort of daily activities, what's your top priorities in life as a subgroup. The second section, because you guys are fairly big groups, don't write all the names and everything in there. Just go, maybe just a few roles within your group that you normally see represented. Is that cool? And the third section is, how do you relate to the other groups in the room? Like if you're a regulator, do you deal with the senior management sometimes of a hospital? Yeah, possibly. Why and how? Does that make sense? So you basically write down a couple of sentences here and there to say how do you relate to them. All good?
Well, should civic life be or slash
Health and human services might take finance director.
It's going to be a finance director, maybe.
Operations.
Operations, finance. Medical aspect.
Strategic
2 minutes. Hey, did you just arrive?
Yeah, to be honest, we're independent. Everyone has IT security specialists. We do need them to have our system running. The patients associations, I don't know how to work, but maybe some of them come to me also from time to time to share
All right, 30 seconds.
All right, quick timeout. All right, so can we have a quick update from each team? What is your main aim in life? Just as a bit of a summary, senior management of the hospital, what's most important to you guys? Do you want to stand up? Just share. Just 30 seconds. Yeah, there's a mic here, I think.
Yeah. Actually, we have got 5 main points, starting with strategic planning, budget management, resources, also human resources, contact with regulators, and deal with functional management.
Yes.
Including IT and security.
Great. Fantastic. So that's your main aim in life, your activities. Team 2, technical IT experts, what's your main interest?
Finding a way to get there.
These are tricks to keep you guys all awake. You have to walk to the mic. That's it.
I can't reach it. Our main interest is making sure that the rest of the company doesn't get hacked, that we're protecting your data, that we're making sure that when you give permissionings to us, we know that that person should have access to it, that we're not making mistakes, that we took care of Patch Tuesday, that you feel secure, that your systems work. When you sign on in the morning, you actually get to sign on. And you think that this just happens like magic. That's what our job is.
Brilliant. Fantastic. You guys keep the whole world safe, I think. Now here we have the patient lobby group. What do you guys really think of the
Well,
world?
we're basically here to make sure that the other 4 teams are making their jobs. So an advocate for patients' rights, privacy, medical records protection, complaints, family support, and communication as well, and funding for activities,
Yeah.
and financial support for patients.
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. So they're keeping all of us also very happy. Team 4, you're the regulators. What's your main interest? What's your activities? Can we quickly get this lady?
So team 3 is going to be focusing on
4.
4 and 5.
Please get up.
No, I'm afraid of the camera.
Please stand up at least, because nobody can see you out there.
No, not a camera.
Not okay. Really? Okay, I'll rephrase it. Oh, you have a volunteer. Just the top section, the few bullet points, guys. There we go. See, what a great family we have at the PECB. Everybody helps everybody. You know?
Hi everyone. So basically, we are the regulators here. We are from the Department of Health and Human Services. We are going to make sure, like all the teams, especially we have to deal with the lobby group, patient lobby group, and we'll make sure all your points or requirements are being met. We have to meet with the management team, and we have to make sure There is a proper governance in place for the hospitals, the patient safety and security, data privacy, information system security, environmental and biological system regulations, policies and regulations, and staff policies, governance are in place.
Wow. This is why we all pay tax, guys, for your salary.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. Good work. Are you looking for a team, gentleman who just walked in? No? You see what's going on here. You think, oh, I'm out of here. It's a riot. Okay, the media. Last but not least, what's your main aim in life?
We'll be doing fair reporting of facts about the case. We'll be doing many interviews. We'll be publishing some news, exposing some lies, and also going behind the communication strategy of the people affected, talking to users, shareholders, vendors, clients, and seeing how it impacts their daily lives, for example.
Mm-hmm. No fake news, huh? Basically. Brilliant. All right. So we can almost get started on this game now. So the scenario is, now that you guys all sort of know what role you play in the world, the scenario is phones have been ringing off the hook since this morning at the 14 hospital and health services group Top Healthcare. So they've got 14 hospitals. This is one big company called Top Healthcare, right? The phones are ringing like crazy this morning. Hundreds of patients have been reporting to have received improper or suspicious emails from Top Healthcare. So patients are already going a little bit nuts. That's the guys at the back there. You guys need to start going like this now. You know what I mean. Some patients reported the receipt of fictitious offers of discount health services from Top Healthcare, and their emails showing their own personal data. So it's actually showing their personal data, possibly from others. So others are reporting the receipt of an email with an attachment listing personal details of thousands of fellow patients, including name, email addresses, employment information, protected health information. It's basically not looking good, okay? You get the idea. So basically it's a phishing kind of attack, as well as, sending some suspicious, some sensitive data around. So how realistic is this kind of thing? Well, we've seen so many examples now. I don't think I have to show this slide, right? Like the 2 attacks ago, the malware situation started in the UK in the healthcare sector, right? It's a real prime target for this kind of activity. So you can see here a whole bunch of other examples, and it's all healthcare related. These are all healthcare related issues from 2015 and 16, and I'm not going to even go through the detail, but there's a report that shows purely from that sector how many hacks, breaches, malware, attempts, attacks, etc. there are. So this is pretty realistic. So let the game begin. This is the happy part for the chocolate, okay? So what you will need to do is, not pages 7, 6 and 7. I've made some cards. I actually have colorful cards for each team you'll get, which has all the challenges that you're going to give to the other teams, right? So have a bit of a read through those first, and then ask one of the teams around you to give you your first challenge. So this is how the game flows. When you have a challenge complete, you go to another team and say, give us a challenge. Now, that in the first round, there's a few joker cards in the game. You're not allowed to use them, okay, for the first round. Because we're doing one practice round for everybody so that you actually understand what's supposed to happen, and then you guys can keep going as fast as you like, okay? But the first round, I want all the teams to feel comfortable. This is how the game flows. So you fill in your challenge response in the response form that you've got there. See, in the back of that paper that I gave you, there's some other blank pages, right? They're all marked with numbers of challenges. So that's where you're going to fill in your response. And then ask the person who gave you the challenge what their thoughts is on your response and what sort of points will they give you. Now, you must have minimum 6 points for each of those challenges to move on to the next challenge. So if you're getting a real terrible result and they're not giving you more than 6 points or more than 5 points, then yeah, either challenge it back, do some more work, or come to me if you really think it's unfair. Yeah, so you need 6 points for each challenge to move on to the next challenge. Out of 10. Yeah, it's a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, and as a challenger, you can't just say, no, that's a bad response. You need to also justify, right? You can't just give challenges back and tell people, they're not doing a good job if you don't actually know what you have in mind as a good job. So we need to make sure it's a fair game. And then if there's a dispute, like I said, you can come to me. And once you've got your first one ready, we're going to do a quick timeout. But then after that, when it flows, you can keep on going, asking more challenges from every team, basically. And if you may have your favorite team that you go, oh, let's ask them again because that was an easy challenge. Or you might have another idea on who you're going to ask. Okay, but you need to complete as many challenges as possible with all the teams around you. And you must have at least one challenge from each team. Yeah, you can't just ask just one team the whole time. You must have at least one, and then you can start going for your favorites. Okay, and that was the chocolate. So I'm going to hand you guys your challenge envelope, which is, this is the media over here. So have a read through these challenges. Yeah, to start with, so that you know what actually give others. So please don't start yet. Just have a quick read through these cards so you know what is in your challenge box that you're going to give to others. The joker is going to go for the following rounds. I'm going to explain it then. Okay. Now when you've got a bit of an idea, the next step is going to be that you're going to get one representative from your team to ask a challenge from another team. Cool? Some are quite similar if you're dishing it out to different teams, right? Yeah, but this is coming from your teams. What you've got in your hands is what you're going to give to others. And the joker is going to be one that you're going to write creatively after that. Okay. Everyone's got a bit of a feeling for what's going on here? Let the game begin. So if you're ready with your team, find one spokesperson in your team to walk to another team, send them somewhere to pick the first challenge up. So it doesn't really matter. Maybe we can rotate this way or that way for the first round. Shall we do that? So let's get these guys. Can you ask them for a challenge? Can you guys there? Can you ask them for a challenge? Can you guys, patience, can you ask them for a challenge? Yeah. These guys, government, regulators, team 4, can you ask that team for a challenge? And if you guys can ask that team for a challenge. Yeah, so this is your challenge box, keep them to yourself for now. Now when someone comes to you to ask you for a challenge, you need to find the right type of challenge, right? So you need to look at the number on the card. So this is team 1. If you're asking for a challenge, you need to get challenges with team 1 on it. Yeah? You guys are team 1, so you can only answer challenges with marked team 1. You guys are team 2, Graham. You can only receive challenges for marked team 2, right? You get that, yeah? So that's how you're answering. Same with team 3, 4, 5. Let me see if everything's going all right. Does every team have a challenge from someone else? You didn't receive anything? Can you guys give them a challenge? Oh, you've already given. Okay, this is good. Well, so fill in the right section in your white form, that first challenge response, all right? We needed you earlier, Bernard. We needed you earlier. You were supposed to be a leader. All right, 2 more minutes before you move anywhere. Don't walk anywhere yet, okay? Freeze. This is a test round. This is no competition yet, okay? Some of you guys are so keen for that chocolate. Isn't it amazing? I need to put it up higher. So, who needs a bit more time? That team needs a few more seconds, I think. 30 seconds. A little bit more time. 1 minute. Me? I'm going there. Walking.
Alright, so your point is that you're asking the person responsible to give you an update. So your update should not be that. So you address the update.
I know in some big enterprises what they do is that they reach and it's not so that there won't be any kind of independent. So I just suggest
Primary objective, we always concern about money. We have to concern with the customer. How do you know, some investigators to get intelligence, internal, external, which is inside or external. So you want to spend money. So far for this objective, fair enough. We have a system threat. We have to investigate. Now, you're going to spend days investigating this. We'll have intelligence. So let's see what our information says before we look at it. That was the second.
You need to write it in 1F, the corresponding number. 1F. Oh, you, no. The challenge 1A, you're writing? Yeah, you need to look for the next page. Yeah. All right, everybody pretty much ready? Come on, team 1, quickly write for this particular one. So now, normally what happens, as soon as you're ready with your challenge, you walk over to the team that gave it to you, right? In this case, those guys. And they have to stop their own work. Or somehow they have to deal with you. Or maybe they split their group half-half, but they need to start answering your stuff first. Does that make sense? So you can disrupt certain teams, right? By asking them for challenges, because they have to constantly help you. So if you're ready, walk to the team that gave you the challenge, ask for one of their guys to give you a point, a marking. Okay? Ready, go. Once you got your mark, you can ask for the next challenge, wherever you like. Cool?
Yes, for sure.
Media, we don't talk to media, we talk to
So you do not want to
No comment.
we have media team for that, so I don't want my face in the
So you will have your face in the journal with no comments under our red line, page 1.
They're government regulators. I'll put this up. You can maybe have a look. These are the team names.
Everyone from the government platform, as a representative of the government, I want to make sure for all the public that we have established a cybersecurity task force team that will be working closely with the management of that hospital to make sure that the data privacy issues are being addressed for all the patients. At the same time, we have established the hotline where everybody can report their data breach issues. And we also have launch a website where you and all the public will be able to see the updates as we will be progressing with the victim of the airport. Victimized hospital. And we want to make sure that the government is doing everything in the best interest of the patients and their families. And we will get back to you guys. Thank you.
Brilliant. This is a political campaign now.
But we have to comment about disgruntled employees. So if you have any choice, you will be talking to us about
anytime.
Your question was vague, so you need maybe about
So basically keep flowing. As soon as you've finished, as soon as you receive a score, ask someone else for another challenge, okay? So we've got senior management here, team 2, technology, 3 patients, 4 regulators, 5 media. Yeah, they're on the board again. Yeah.
Management, they cannot do anything.
Actually, we just got from the government. Patients, lobbyists, the ones that we see use like come up with something.
So there's no waiting around for challenges. If you're ready for the next one, ask for a challenge. You don't give people challenges out of the blue. You go and ask for one. Go somewhere. Group 5 needs a challenge. Go and pick a team and ask for one. Yeah? Yeah, they want a challenge. There's one there. Brian's giving you one. Is every team working on a challenge at least?
We requested a question before giving Next challenge, guys. Can you read it? Yes, I can. Total care is IT and security staff that ask you, city management, to make recommendations on the media of the IT impacts on possible regional patient management system and IT regulation on medical When will you respond? How will you prevent the condition that total care impacts are at this stage? And how will you provide narration to your They are IT. They gave us that. So IT is asking us to talk with you. So not better. I want
I cannot get better than a 6. 6? Yeah, we are on the floor. We are floor. What is the last time? Sorry guys.
Well, the thing is, in a crisis like this, they often ask the managers, like management, to speak to and credibility into that, and make sure the reputation is.
On their place, I would do the exact same thing,
Yes.
but we are senior management and they don't have to tell us that. So, do your job, let us do ours.
We're gonna get to
Yeah, they are giving the points. So we should say them, well, we're gonna pay you pizza, and we're gonna do anything for
We are. They're basically asking us to actually make announcements about the impacts of
We have countdown, we have a plan, we know what to do, everything is planned out. We just follow as requested by the plan. Not me.
Well, there is no question about it. Right direction, I can main focus on spiritual activities.
They are accountable because you are from the and the decision will be taken day by day according to the speed. The media will be kept under control according to the findings and according to the speed we are able to do.
How will you prevent reputational damage to the public and their impacts on the How will you prevent reputational damage to the healthcare considering the impacts on the
I will use the great transparency and any finding can be available. I will get what I supposed to tell to them. What I would like my president is sending something to me.
They're asking us to.
Yeah, exactly. Those statements should be ready
By the member responsible to follow the safety. We assign a member to follow up. We assign a member to see how the plan is deployed. This member will check how the plan is If I agree with the other six, what you will say?
We go for another six.
Yeah.
Okay, so I might go get another one.
There are some data attached to it.
Just putting the scenario up there again about the nature of the attack, okay? Some of the guys were asking about this.
Thank you.
Yeah, so good.
So the regulator behind the Department of Health and Human Services has instated an emergency working group to track any progress in relation to the cyber incident at the hospital. Your team is already overloaded with existing issues. How will you build this task into your schedule? What ideas would you propose to the regulator that minimize your time and effort required while showing good will to the regulator? The leading team has 3, the third one being completed, just to give you an understanding, right? If you've done 2, you need to get your skates on.
Yeah,
Can I be now part of the team?
Yeah, sure.
Well, just add the progress documents.
Communication. I'll give an example in my office. We had an issue.
Keep them aware and also keep them top.
Yeah, that's what we put on
According to the survey of the problem that we are finding in the report, we can assign to them part of the problem. And it's a share, we are sharing the responsibility and at the same time we give them
So that's one.
we have minimum 3, I guess. This is the next one. Well, you add the point as the point of the progress to the meeting, and you ask for someone from the project.
I think we need to yes or no about this decision.
the third problem is they will be part of our business. They will take responsibility on their side of the business. They did something.
If you want to win that chocolate, we've got about 15 minutes to go for this game, okay? So, and you must at least start from each team. You can't just get your favorite team the whole time. I also wanted to highlight just a quick timeout. Just a quick timeout. You can use Joker cards now, okay? You can write your own challenge on the Joker card. It's up to you.
Isn't a crisis the worst time ever for data? Because you won't be thinking right, you won't be thinking about what's happening right now and not this big picture. So they would be agree.
So that's the patient,
Keep your mouth shut.
Okay, boss, you get it?
Again, you have a moment, take a seat.
Are you real?
okay, you take care of meeting with the media, and you take care of getting the points, we take care of the next one. So the patience is also.
We have a new boss.
Hey guys, quick timeout. We've got a new policy. Joker cards can just be thrown at any team at any point in time. This is the new rule that the patient associations have given us. So they're going to give it to whoever wants to receive it, basically. Group 4, year 4.
Patient association has an hour service for their members that offers them medical
About the
They already announced that they would give us to the members. So it's already in place.
So at the moment, I understand nobody's there.
For instance, someone had access to the database.
So if we admit guilt or something when the situation is not even settled, recognition will come. And then if 1 week after somebody was okay, finally we found the problem, it was that was not us. It was like fake.
yes, you have
We should actually go to the patient association. Yeah, we should tell them to actually wait until the problem is obviously solved, but then they have to have a course.
you will not be fined
And I guess if we could members, in a certain way. But for now, we keep it on roll.
You should not do anything.
I will not go into discussing that.
Well, the jobs that in the end
Even though no promise like this is the first time, if it's us, we will do that. You can show us fake without promising anything. If we will do the due diligence with and we will make sure to contact you when we have more information. So that we don't make this a corner.
more points if you know that you're going to give compensation.
You have another challenge, man. Team one. Team one.
If the information comes out, then for any reason, yeah, decide not to do it, or
Okay, let's put it in a more political way and see that we take the measures that we have to take. That's a joker card. We
that's
can,
not one thing.
from a patients association, we already have discussed the which one is it?
We have all the information.
How many?
10 minutes to go.
Add the compensation for the
So our solution, our response. First off, yeah, we'll also press on to the media for sure. We're already planning on doing that from the very start to raise awareness, get any patients who have been affected by the virus, understand that they've been affected, know not to click on it, not going further, just report it to us. So that's definitely something we need to totally make it of course, right? And second thing, on the rumor, we don't regard rumors at all until factorized, right? So if it's the same here as you know what I mean? We're just gonna completely disregard it if rumors or rumors, there no factual evidence on that. So until some facts arise that they discredibly that caused the IT cyber attack on the healthcare systems, so we're not gonna really concern ourselves with that. Our concern right now is focused on fixing the issue and making sure our patients data is protected. Awesome, love you guys.
You guys take care of it?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Hey, who took care of you?
I hear the deals happening.
Do you have anything to add to this? Should ask the patients association to put the whole process on hold because we don't have any that is us. And if we would be guilty in any way, we will take the necessary measures to give compensation. The legal measures.
You're going too specific in your words. We will do what is required and what is not.
Do you have anything to add to this? Okay. So what do you just add?
Oops, sorry.
Something very common.
So what's their question?
What measures they will ask the fire and they are
So what exact measures will
to prevent the situation. We're taking $1 billion that we asked from 10 years to improve our cybersecurity protection.
So what exact measures will you put in place to make sure this never happens again? What?
And we, I believe these measures should be employed by the nation.
So when they're answering,
Oh, sorry. What are you trying to record this?
okay, I've been recording.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought you were one of the participants.
No, no, no,
I
no,
said,
no,
why
no.
are you
I'm
talking
so
about the content?
sorry,
Okay.
so sorry. No, the problem is that.
Yeah, but it's not a presentation. It's a work. It's a workshop.
No, I know that. That's when they're going to answer some of the stuff.
Yeah, I'll get them to the mics later on.
Good.
Yeah.
Speaker video more.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I'll do my best to keep it. Hey guys, use those joker cards where you can, right? Give people a bit of a challenge. You have a joker card? Did you receive one? Did you receive one?
Was not able to
So that is crazy. The hospital is responding immediately because the regulation is in place. 2 years when the
but the regulation is not made by the
All they're asking here
That means it's may not be made by the hospital, but
But it is the last 2 years. 2 years from the moment and this is from the moment the regulation was signed. 2 years was given as a governance for all hospitals to transition to compliance with the and there was a whole division of the regulatory department where the hospitals take over the
event happens, we take measure. It's like react.
No, the regulation was already
But nothing else.
not enough food. Why you're saying that?
Okay, I give you an answer to the job.
Okay, I'm gonna answer.
Seven.
Can you read the question?
Yes, it's what is a measure in place? This never happened again. 3 measures.
Okay, we're gonna hear you.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Should have put format. I think it's funny because it's our receptionist call.
The background of the picture.
No, but they
Pockets are empty.
But it's right, but you never do that while you're acting for them. You do it before and after when it's settled.
They will tell you that
have an answer. The answer is that this is not the responsibility of the government regulatory body. If you and let's suppose it virtually, that person will yeah. So basically, the question is addressed to the patients association or the regulatory.
Yeah, I want you, the regulation,
Five minutes to go.
should go just for this team?
To that team. Yeah, 2 team 3. Which is those guys there. Yeah. Yeah, each team only has 1 joker card, okay? You have to write it to them. No, you have to give just the one that you've got. Which one was it?
Isn't that what you said earlier? That team decided we shouldn't.
No, that's not what I meant. What I meant is they don't have to ask you for a challenge. If you write one, you can just give it to them. But that's all right. Don't worry. If you want to change it, it's okay. People have lots to deal with, so it's all good.
Okay, so they were not supposed to send this one to us, right?
No.
So we are spending that for nothing.
Sometimes the joker cards are easier than my ones. They probably are. You may be lucky.
Do we have any more challenges?
Three minutes to go. If you're on a challenge, you have to finish this one, okay? You can't take a new one, I don't think. Right? I'm getting very excited about this. I know someone's looking over their shoulder.
so it's always open.
Someone's trying to get points, right? One minute to go. And you must answer and give points to the person if they come to you, okay? You can't just... You want arbitration? Okay, come. I'm going to count down. I'm going to count down from 20. And I need you guys to stop right on 1, okay? 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 15 and a half, 16, 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, this guy's stressing out, oh my god, 2, 1, okay, final points now. They're giving us the, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that's it. End of story. Sign it now and then it's done. No more discussion. No more discussion, you can write scores and that's it, okay? Please sit back down in your team and count your scores. Count your scores. They have to have a signature against them. No bribery, okay? All right, what's going on here? Is there bribery happening here? Mr. Patient Association, your group needs you. Sign it. All right. No more discussion, just a signature. That's all you can do now, okay? We're done with this. All right. Team 1, senior management. I would like to hear your points and a very short phrase to express how you guys are feeling after this.
Feeling good? 40 points.
40 points from Team 1. Team 2, can someone come up? Do you want to come up, right? Yeah? A 3-word expression on how you guys are feeling?
30 points and extremely stressed.
Extremely stressed. Patient associations. This lady, we need you. This lady with the white jacket. She's the spokesperson. Well, actually, you guys can come together because you're both, you're lobbyists, you know. He's still chasing points, is he? You forgot something. All right.
So what am I supposed to do?
Say in 3 words, how do you feel?
Is this yours?
Yes.
Confused.
-1. Just unhappy with the IT department.
Unhappy with IT. Well, welcome to the real world. The poor IT guys. What, how many points?
34.
34. Woo, close call. All right. I want a statement from. Actually, let's do the media first. What's your final score?
We have 49, and we feel incredible of having at this occasion to report on such a breaking story, and you will hear all about it in our special tomorrow.
Brilliant, brilliant, very good. Okay, we need the government. Final political spiel, okay? How do you guys feel, government? You're on top of the world, right? And how many points?
We got 47 points. We would like to thank everybody, all the parties involved in that, and especially media, that they help us.
Everybody want to be good with media.
Yeah, but very honestly, we had asked the questions to the media, and media was holding the hospital. They was doing the media trial on the hospital that without the final decision or investigation. So they said us they are going to rectify that issue, which actually give them an opportunity to have a good. To have to correct, which is.
How much was the fine?
Fantastic. Give it up for all of these teams. Now, and especially for the media.
Yeah, because you answered the.
Did I not or did I not?
Well, the media is going to share that with everybody, obviously, clearly. So, guys, I mean, I thought that was great fun. You guys were so committed. It's fantastic. I have a final little video that goes for about 5 minutes to share. I don't know. Does anybody know James Veitch?
Yeah.
You do? If you know it, maybe you can enjoy it as well. I want to show you a little video of just something that is related to phishing and viruses and things like that. And it's a TED video. Has anybody seen TED videos before? You like TED?
A few years ago, I got one of those spam emails. And it managed to get through my spam filter. I'm not quite sure how, but it's turned up in my inbox, and it was from a guy called Solomon Odonka. I know. It went like this. It said, hello, James Veitch. I have an interesting business proposal I want to share with you, Solomon. Now, my hand was kind of hovering on the delete button. Right? As you are, I was looking at my phone. I thought, I could just delete this. Or I could do what I think we've all always wanted to do. And I said, Solomon, your email intrigues me. And the game was afoot. He said, dear James Veitch, we shall be shipping gold to you. You will earn 10% of any gold you distribute. So I knew I was dealing with a professional. I said, how much is it worth? He said, we will start with a smaller quantity. I was like, ah, and then he said, of 25 kilograms, the worth should be about 2.5 million. I said, Solomon, if we're going to do it, let's go big. I can handle it. How much gold do you have? He said, it's not a matter of how much gold. How much is you're capable of handling? What? We can start with 50 kilograms as a trial shipment. I said, 50 kilograms? There's no point doing this at all unless it should be at least a metric ton. So what do you do for a living? I said, I'm a hedge fund executive bank manager. This isn't the first time I've shipped bullion, my friend. No. Then I started to panic. I was like, now look, where are you based? I don't know about you, but I think we're going via the postal service. It ought to be signed for. Right, that's a lot of gold. He said, oh, it'll not be easy to convince my company to do a larger quantity shipment. And I said, Solomon, I'm completely with you on this one. I'm putting together a visual for you to take it to the board meeting. Hold tight. This is what I sent Solomon. I don't know if we have any statisticians in the house, but there's definitely something going on. I said, Solomon, attach this email, you'll find a helpful chart. I've had one of my assistants run the numbers. We need to be shipping as much gold as possible. There's always a moment where they try to tug your heartstrings, and this was it for Solomon. He said, I will be so much happy if the deal goes well, because I'm going to get a very good commission as well. And I said, that's amazing. What are you going to spend your cut on? And he said, on real estate, what about you? I thought about it for a long time. And I said one word. Hummus. It's going places. I was in Sainsbury's the other day and there are like 30 different varieties. Also, you can cut up carrots and you can dip them. Have you ever done that? Solomon! He said, I have to go to bed now. Till tomorrow. Have sweet dreams. I didn't know what to say. I said, bonsoir, my golden nugget. Bonsoir. Guys, you have to understand, this has been going for like weeks, albeit hitherto the greatest weeks of my life, but I had to knock it on the head. It was getting a bit out of hand. Friends were saying to me, James, do you want to come out for a drink? I was like, I can't, mate, I'm expecting an email about some gold. You know? So I figured I had to knock it on the head. I had to take it to a ridiculous conclusion. So I thought I concocted a plan. I said, look, Solomon, I'm concerned about security. When we email each other, we need to use a code. And he agreed. And I said, Solomon, I spent all night coming up with this code. We need to use it in all further correspondence. Lawyer. Gummy bear. Bank, cream egg. Legal, fizzy cola bottle, claim peanut M&Ms, documents, jelly beans, Western Union. Guys, a giant gummy lizard. I knew these were all words they use, right? I said, please call me Kit Kat and all further correspondence. I didn't hear back. I thought I've gone too far. I've gone too far. So I had to backpedal a little bit. I said, look, Solomon, is the deal still on? Kit Kat. Because you have to be consistent. Then I did get an email back from him. He said, the business is on, blah, 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 blah. I said, dude, you have to use the code. What followed is the greatest email I've ever received. I'm not joking. This is what turned up in my inbox. This was a good day. The business is on. and I'm trying to raise the balance for the gummy bear. So he could submit all the needed fizzy cola bottle jelly beans to the cream egg for the peanut M&M's process to start. Send £1,500 via a giant gummy link. And that was so much fun, right? That it got me thinking, like, what would happen if I just spent as much time as I could replying to as many scam emails as I could? And that's what I've been doing for 3 years on your behalf. Yeah. Let me tell you, crazy stuff happens when you start replying to scam emails. It's really difficult, and I highly recommend we do. I don't think what I'm doing is mean, right? There are a lot of people out there who do mean things to scammers. I don't think what I'm doing, all I'm doing is wasting their time. Right? And I think any time they're spending with me is time they're not spending scamming vulnerable adults out of their savings, right? If you're going to do this, and I highly recommend you do, get yourself a pseudonymous email address. Don't use your own email address, because that's exactly what I was doing at the start, and it was a nightmare. Because, I'd wake up in the morning and have like 1,000 emails about penis enlargements, only one of which was a legitimate response to a medical question item. But I tell you what, though, guys, any day is a good day. Any day is a good day if you receive an email that begins like this. I am Winnie Mandela, the second wife of Nelson Mandela, the former South African president. I was like, oh, that Winnie Mandela. I know so many. I need to transfer $45 million out of the country because of my husband Nelson's health condition. Let that sink in. She sent me this, which is hysterical. and this looks fairly legitimate. This is a letter of authorization, but to be honest, if there's nothing written on it, it's just a shape. I said, Winnie, I'm really sorry to hear of this. Given that Nelson died 3 months ago, I describe his health condition as... That's the worst health condition you can have, not being alive. She said, kindly comply with my banker's instructions. One love. I said, of course, no woman, no cry. She said, my banker will need transfer of $3,000. One love. I said, no problemo. I shall share it.
Anyway, this goes on for a while. Look up this guy. He seriously spent a couple of years doing this, as a hobby. So you've obviously seen a few of them around. I hope you enjoyed that. Just as a bit of a light entertainment around security. Okay, so I think it's certainly worth showing. Hope you guys had some fun today. Hopefully we'll share some conclusions about the game that you played, and that we'll see each other in the next, the rest of today and tomorrow. And stay in touch and get at least a BCP for all these situations, because this is the thing, you can't protect everything to the nth degree, right? You can do all your controls and everything, but eventually something is going to happen. And unfortunately, we see people shutting down systems as a BCP, and that's not a BCP. Yeah, to say like I've got no process in place. So there's a few snapshots in my kit that I'll share over the PDF file that's going to go out. Just around business continuity and aspects like that I use in the work that we do. If you're interested, get to me over the next day or so. I don't know. Workarounds is always a good one, and that's sort of the final slide I have. Be selective with your workarounds, just like you are with all your other work, because it still requires maintenance, right? You have to still do your manual procedures somehow and train everyone in it. So stay in touch. Here's some of our courses, activities that we're doing in different countries. I'm in Holland next week after next, training a bunch of people, and you can see Australia, Tanzania, Uganda, etc. So if you're interested, chat to me. And here's my LinkedIn profile if you're interested in some publications and things like that, and articles that I've written. So Hope you had some fun, and we'll see you, at the plenary session in, I think, 5 minutes or so when it's starting. Tim is getting nervous. Trying to get these people out. Thank you so much. I'll leave some cards here too.